Welcome to the Thinking Green News Moment. I'm Chris Schneider. Today my guest is Heidi Kohler with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. Welcome, Heidi.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wow, we're going to be talking about Asian carp.
Yes.
And the impact they have on our local environment.
Correct.
So tell us, Heidi, what's going on with Asian carp in our waterways?
Well, I think a lot of people don't understand the impact that these fish could have on our ecosystem. Down in the Illinois River where they are located, they are 90% of the biomass. So in the areas that they were located, other species of fish have all been pushed out. So if they do come up this far into the river, which one was just recently caught in the Mississippi near the Black River, they could have a big impact to this area. Not only to our fishing, but also to our boating. They're a safety hazard. So these fish do jump out of the water up to 10 feet. And people have gotten concussions, broken noses, broken arms. There was one lady that was hit by one on her jet ski, and she ended up unconscious in the water. And if a barge hadn't stopped for her, she could have possibly drowned. Now,
you're saying that they can jump 10 feet, and this is a good-sized fish here, but how large can they get?
The silver, this is a silver species here, they could get up to 60 pounds.
60
yes.
pounds?
60 pounds.
And they could be jumping 10 feet?
They could possibly jump 10 feet.
Wow.
Now,
yeah, that is quite a hazard.
Right.
I noticed that there was some interesting video on, like, YouTube.
Mm-hmm, correct.
And they not only... a single one can jump a good distance, but they can be there in a great big crowd and jumping relatively simultaneously.
Correct. When we go down on the Illinois River, we often see them jumping in their schools, and we have counted, excuse me, up to 200 fish in one school, and that's just in one small area. So when they do jump all at one time, it's just such a commotion. It's almost like a popcorn popper going off all at one time. And that if a boat would happen to drive through there, it's so dangerous.
Now, the Illinois River that you've suggested is severely populated with them. Mm-hmm. That empties into Pool 26, mm-hmm. is it? Mm-hmm. And so what kind of patterns are you seeing here, in the Pool 7 and 8 area?
Well, we haven't actually received funding to go out and monitor them out in our own backyard. We've received funding to go help in Chicago, in the Chicago area, in the Illinois River, but we haven't actually received funding to go out in our own backyard. We have only caught a couple, and that has been through commercial fishermen. So USGS is out going full board on this, the Wisconsin DNR, Minnesota DNR. So it's not just one agency, it's multiple agencies, but we haven't received all that much funding that we can go out and monitor them ourselves.
But a commercial fisherman is the one that turned one in that was caught near the Black River?
Correct.
And there mm-hmm. hasn't been any further north than that at this time?
Not the silver, but there is another species that have invaded the Mississippi River called the bighead carp, and 2 of them have been found in Lake Pepin. Mm. And those get to be much larger. Those fish could get up to be 100 pounds.
Now, I think there's a misconception out there that we don't need to be worried about this because the fish would prefer to stay in southern waters, but that's not actually the case.
No, that's not true at all. In their native range over in China, they actually, if you compare the latitude over to their range would be up into Canada. So they would love to get farther north. So our climate is not going to stop them at all.
Now, if people want to find out more information about what they can do, is there a website?
Yes, they can look on the Fish and Wildlife Service website. They can also go to the U.S. Geological Survey website and the Wisconsin DNR, as well as the Minnesota DNR. Many of the agencies have worked on this and have websites available for more information.
Well, Heidi, thank you so much for the information about the Asian carp. This is Chris Schneider with the Thinking Green News Moment.